I probably should put my glasses on because I feel extra nerdy this morning. I'm gonna put my glasses on. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, by the way, thank you guys for getting us. We're almost at 2,500 subs. So if you're watching the replay, welcome in. And you guys know that I'm using YouTube. I provide two scholarships every year to kids from Jamaica to send them to college. And what I want to do is increase that number to four. So every time that you guys subscribe, we're helping to send more kids from Jamaica to college. So I appreciate you guys subscribing. With that said, though, let's get into the video because AI is taking over. And I would just say I haven't used Google all year. I haven't used Google once all year. You know what I've used? Even the thumbnail for this video was made by AI, artificial intelligence. So if I'm not using Google, that was a breakthrough in technology, being able to Google something, right? Even Google has become a verb, just being able to Google something and find out information instantly. But now we have AI, which is not only searching for information, but giving you answers, giving you follow up, asking you questions that you didn't even know to think of next, right? It is generating way more information than Google did because Google is just giving you web pages. AI is answering your questions. Because it's actually next level. Now, Google has had something like this for a little bit of time. Now, when you search on Google, how it used to be is that you would search an answer, and then the top result, which would be taken from a page, would be a summary of what your answer would be. So let's say you say, what's the best way to lose weight? Then Google would give you the first result, which actually pulls from a web page and just give you the text in a little box, right? That was maybe Google's first version of AI. But what actually ended up happening is that that's a very primitive version of AI. What do we have right now? What we have right now, I gotta move, guys. There's no free one? I got you. All right, boom. We gotta move. Move into the shade. What y'all doing? We gotta move. All right. Boom. Still chilling by the pool. What was I talking about? Oh, who's that? Hey, how you doing? Back to talking about AI. People are gonna come around, which is fine. I gotta keep my shoes on because I'm actually going to the gym after this. Um, but anyway, so I haven't actually Googled anything all year. I've been using the straight chat GPT and all of my answers have come from chat GPT because it's so much more efficient. Right now, people who's this? What's up today? How's it going, man? You pulling up today? Pulling up where? Who's that? J Alex? Pulling up where? Are you in Suriname? 'Cause that'd be pretty cool. And the only thing I have to do today is play football. That's what I'm doing today. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so funny. Are you? That's so. I feel like I know who that is. That's so funny. Yes, I am pulling up today. Good night from South Pacific Island, Papua New Guinea. Um, right. So then AI, right? Um, how is AI going to make you rich? One, it's causing people to not really think anymore. Like they're not critically thinking because if you can just look on ChatGPT and get the answer, get up and show me the water. Love water. I don't got to get up. There you go. If you can just look on ChatGPT and get the answer, then you don't need to really think about problems. Think about this. ChatGPT can write you an entire business plan, right? And if everybody has ChatGPT, can write out the entire business plan, can write out the entire model, then why do you now need to go ahead and think through what the problems are? Because you can ask GPT, what are the problems in the market? What do people want? What are their desires? What do people fear? And you can do all of that. ChatGPT can do it for you. So then now if you're thinking about that, what then becomes the separator between you and somebody else with the same technology? Because information is free, right? That doesn't separate you. You being smarter than the next guy doesn't make you better. What separates you then? Effort, creativity, your ability to blend ChatGPT with good customer service, with good soft skills, with your ability to negotiate deals. That's what makes it that's what makes you completely different from everybody else. So then if you're using ChatGPT, yes, ChatGPT won't replace you. But what's actually happening right now, AI isn't replacing people. People who use AI are replacing people who don't use AI. I'm gonna repeat that. People who use AI are replacing people who don't use AI. So then you're scared of AI, you're scared to use ChatGPT. They're not even teaching ChatGPT in schools. But in China, what's actually happening right now is that every person under 10 years old is taking a mandatory AI class. They're learning how to use ChatGPT, how to use AI prompts, how to be prompt engineers. That's who's going to replace you with artificial intelligence. They're not going to take your job. I mean, robots are going to do that, sure, eventually. But much sooner than that is that people who are using AI are going to take your jobs. Because even right now, the thumbnail for this video was created by AI. What I didn't do, and that was free. What I didn't do was go and pay a graphic designer to create the thumbnail. Think about that. I created that and it took me less than 5 minutes. I just put a prompt in and it created an entire thumbnail. 5 years ago, I would have paid someone $5, $10 to do that. I know how to use AI. So AI isn't replacing your job. It's the person that knows how to use AI that's going to replace your job. Because now I can do 10 different things with just a prompt. You see what I'm saying? Then right now, if I were you, I would start learning how to use AI. Use AI to code. Use AI how to do graphic design. So many things that AI can do because it's really that powerful. Man, somebody said, let me see, good night from South Pacific Island, Papua New Guinea. That's I think you're the first person in here from Papua New Guinea, which is actually crazy. You do know, bro, it's Jor. Yeah, yeah. Jor. I do know who you are. I figure I can't really see the thumbnail because the thumbnail is small, but I do know I feel like I do know the name Jay because I feel like on Instagram your name is also Jay. So there you go. But that the AI thing is actually pretty serious because I feel like there are a lot of people who don't really see the threat. A lot of people don't see the threat. Or right now, I think they're gonna have a party. So at the hotel sometimes, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna show you behind me. So at the hotel sometimes they rent out these villas, right? And then people come here during the daytime. I don't rent out a villa. I just sit in the seats. But sometimes when the villas are empty, I come over here. But yeah, the second thing that's also happening with young people is that it's becoming so easy to do nothing. This is a very serious thing. It's becoming so easy to do nothing because AI can do so much. So then um why would you write an entire essay anymore? Why would you sit down, think, edit an essay? Your ChatGPT can do it for you, right? What is the value of memorization? If you're in a meeting, you can just look up something on ChatGPT and get the answer and get even the breakdown of the entire problem. What's the issue? What's the issue if your resume can be redone with AI? Right? You can write your cover letter using AI in your own words, in your own pattern of speech. And the better it gets, the more it knows about you, the more it's going to sound like you, right? So then, when it first came out in 2021 or 2022, I think it was, it sounded like robotic. No, it doesn't sound that way. You don't even know this, but a lot of my content is written by AI, but it sounds like me because I've trained it to sound like me. Obviously, that wasn't just an overnight thing, but I have trained it to sound like me. And you can do that, which is next level. And as time go on, Each person is going to have their own robot. Think about this. We're going to get to a point, and I'll say this, and I'm going to actually clip this so that you guys can see this and remember that I said this. We're going to have it come to a point where dating is even just AI to AI. So then just imagine I have a personal AI that sounds like me, knows what I like, knows everything about me, and the girl I'm trying to date also has an AI that knows everything about me. Okay. My AI is going to talk to her AI and they're going to get to know each other. We haven't spoken. My AI is talking to her AI. Think about this. And then when they get to know each other, they're going to set up the date. They're going to look at both of our calendars and then say, both of you need to be here. We have never met each other, but they're going to give me a brief down. This is what you like. Say this, do this, this. And our first date was literally set up by AI. No, you think, oh, damn, that's crazy. That would never happen. But think about this. 50 years ago, if someone told you that the number one way that people are meeting people right now is through Tinder, people would laugh at you. What do you mean people are meeting online on the internet? That's crazy. But now it's the number one way that people meet. Second is in the office. Before it used to be through friends or through going to the bar. No, people are meeting online, strangers that they've never seen before through Tinder. And that's an algorithm, not AI, but an algorithm matching people based on their preferences. That's what AI is going to do. Someone said the dating AI thing is definitely on the way. Yes. Just imagine people not even only going on dates, but getting married because your AI said that you'd be compatible because they know more information than you do. We already have self-driving cars, and people are saying that self-driving cars are going to be more safe or safer than people. They have a higher predictive rate and a lower crash rate than people. So then we're going to trust cars. We're going to trust AI to drive our cars. Why would we not trust AI to make our life partner decisions? It's going to be the next thing. So then it brings me back to my point. If it becomes so easy that you don't have to, think about what's happening with Tinder. This is a small scale. What Tinder has done is that it doesn't force men to go out and have game. It doesn't force men to go out and get rejected in the real world. So then we have a generation of men who'd never ask a woman out in person. 40% of men under 35 have never asked a girl out in person, which was crazy because that was impossible. To get a date, you had to ask them out in person 30 years ago. But now, 40% of men have never done that in person. How much worse is that going to be in 50 years? Maybe 75% of men have never asked a woman out in person because AI is doing all of the thing. It's doing the flirting, it's doing the game. And then you're going to have a generation of men who don't even know how to talk to women. It's going to get worse, right? And we don't see that yet, but that's the logical conclusion because it's happening right now already. It's happening right now. And Tinder isn't AI, but as it becomes worse, worse results are going to come through, which means that what? Which means that if you have any game at all, if you have any balls, right? Any type of courage, the ability to take rejection and go out there, what's going to happen is that all 70% of men don't know how to talk to women, and you're going to be in the 30%, the 20%, the 15% of men who know how to talk to women in person and don't need to use AI. What's going to happen to you? You are going to have pretty much all of the choice, which is what's happening right now. Because the men who know how to talk to women are going in person while every other man sits on the sidelines. That's just one example. But what it's going to do is that people who know how to blend both are going to win. If you're only relying on AI, you're not going to win. It's the same thing in the workplace. If you're only relying on ChatGPT to do the work, you're not going to win. It's the people who know how to do the soft skills, who know how to come offline, use ChatGPT, use AI, but also come offline. That's how you're actually going to win in this game. Someone said the AI dating thing is coming. It's already here. It's just not on this side of the world yet. What we don't see, there are stories that come through the media. I'll tell you what's happening in China right now. There's such a big business in China. No, because obviously you guys know about the China one child policy. That was the policy for a long time. It's not the case right now, but they had a one child policy, and people wanted that child to be a son, okay, a boy. Then you have an entire generation of a bunch of boys. But obviously, the result is after 20 years, you have mostly men, you have 60, 70% men and 30% women at the same age. So then you have all these men, millions of men, who literally, it is impossible for them to get a woman because there's not enough women there. Then you know what has taken root in China? Because you have all these lonely men, what you have right now is that robotic girlfriends are becoming a thing. If you are going to get a date, you have to find a way to have a robot girlfriend to get some love and affection. That's happening in China. And if you think it's not going to happen in the US, you are mistaken. There are so many men, again, as they move to Tinder, they don't know how to talk to women, and they move to AI, they don't know how to talk to women. That's going to come to the US as well. An entire generation of men who do not know how to talk to anybody. It's coming. And all they're going to do, the same thing, the entire industry of robotic girlfriends and AI girlfriends, and there's someone to keep you company and video chat with you, that entire industry is going to boom in the US. Mark my words, it's coming. Mark my words. People don't even know this. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you are someone that knows how to use AI intelligently, you're going to take pretty much the entire cake. If you're not, you're going to lose. Who is this? This person keeps changing their name. Xavier, if you're still there, God bless you too. I appreciate you tuning in. If you're joining for the first time, please tell me where you're watching from. We have somebody in here from Papua New Guinea. That was the first time. That's really cool. It's always interesting that we have people watching from all over the world. Sometimes we have people watching from Egypt, from Switzerland, obviously from Suriname. So shout out to Jay. Shout out to you, my friend. We have people watching from, England, from Australia, from New Zealand. Always cool. Always cool. You guys are always a vibe. After this, I'm going to the gym. Oh, this is, by the way, I'm closer to the pool. That's the pool. See the pool there? Boom. But yeah, I've been going live every single day since February, every single weekday since February. And I think it's been paying off. We've been growing pretty fast. And honestly, the point of me doing this, YouTube doesn't earn any money right now, by the way. But I hope that it starts earning money, because once it starts earning money, then I'll be able to take this money and provide more scholarships to kids in Jamaica. Right now, we have two scholarships, and I want to get up to four. And I'm hoping to use YouTube money to be able to increase the number of scholarships that we do. Those two scholarships, by the way, I fund out of pocket. So I want to do more. And that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Everybody out here has on sunglasses in the pool. I find that to be such a weird thing, wearing sunglasses in the pool. Kids are so loud. You hear this kid? How do you guys feel about kids? Because I have mixed feelings. Do you guys like kids? Because here's my thing about kids. My kids, I like my kids. I don't have kids right now, but I will love my kids. But you see, I like my kids because I have a genetic interest in these kids, and a genetic investment. But then my kids, if they sneeze, if they have snot covered in them, right? If they're crying, I love that because they're my kids. Other people's kids, I couldn't give a fuck about those kids. Other people's kids are gross to me. You understand what I'm saying? Other people's kids are are just oh, you love working with kids. Okay, fair. And don't get me wrong, kids are funny. One of the things I love about kids is that they're so honest. Kids are so honest. So I love that. I feel like my kids are better. My kids are better than your kids. You know, that's how I feel. I feel like every parent feels that way. My kids are better than yours. I don't really care what your kids got going on. My kids are better. Once you start having kids, I love my kids. Other people's kids are they're okay. My kids are cuter. My kids are more athletic. They're smarter. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'll think about my kids. I don't have kids yet, but as I said, I would love my kids. Other people's kids, they're okay. One of the things I do love, I appreciate about kids. Um, all parents take that out. That's funny, Jay. One of the things I love about my kids, or I would love, no, one of the things I love generally about kids is how much their mind learns. And I think that we lose that as adults, but I love teaching. And I've taught music, I've taught math, I've taught English to kids. My youngest student ever was 2 years old, right? And I was teaching this kid music. Cool, cool. And one of the things that you see is that you can visibly see their brain learning and picking up in real time and making connections. And it's such a cool thing to see. Unless you're a parent or you work with a lot of kids, you don't really know what I'm saying. But when you're young, it's learning is a real activity, right? It's not like school. It's like every day you get up to learn. That's what you do for the first maybe 6, 8 years of your life. You just get up to learn. That's what you do every day. And you're just soaking in information from the moment that you open your eyes until you fall asleep. You're just learning. And then when you're sleeping, you're thinking about all the information that you learned that day. That's what they're doing. And so the idea of seeing kids learn and seeing kids put connections together, like for example, right now I've been teaching this kid, one kid. I only have one student right now. And I've been teaching him financial literacy. I've been teaching him about stocks and investments and credit and the banking system and so many things about the economy. And he's 10, or maybe he's 11 now. I've been teaching him since last September. And we had a class on Sunday for an hour. We were talking, I was recapping everything with him. And he was just spitting off everything that I've taught him over the past 9 or so months. He was saying, this is what credit is, this is what investment is, this is what a Roth IRA is, this is how you analyze a stock. And then in the last 20, 25 minutes, what we did is that I pulled up 5 new stocks for him to analyze, and he got right into it, the same method that I've taught him. And I was like, that's so cool. That's so cool how he learns that and he's just going right into it. You see what I'm saying? And kids have that. And it's always impressive to me because for adults, for some reason, we've been taught that looking stupid is a sign of stupidity, right? But you have to look stupid to learn. You have to look stupid to be intelligent. You have to be willing to be humble to be intelligent. But we lose that as adults. We think that that's a bad thing to be bad at something. That doesn't make sense. We constantly have to put ourselves in a place where we feel foolish if we're going to get smarter. You have to be weak in order to grow stronger, right? When you approach failure and your muscles can't go anymore, what is that? In the gym. That's you being weak. And then you tear your muscle and then you eat food, protein, and you go to sleep, you repair that muscle, and then the next day you're stronger. It's the same thing with learning. You actually do have to look stupid in order to learn. But we forget that as adults. We run away from feeling stupid. We always want to feel smart. We always want to feel good about ourselves. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. This is what the pool looks like, by the way. You can see that there are people over here. A decent number of people, not too many. You always wonder to yourself, who are the people that are at the pool, that are at the beach, or at wherever at midday on a Tuesday? These are the people. We have kids over here. We have a couple of people on vacation. When I was younger, I always wanted to be one of those people that would be by the pool or by the beach at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday or 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. And now here we are. Hmm. You know that Met Gala was yesterday? I found that out yesterday. You may not be interested in Met Gala, but here's what I like about things like this. It reminds me of how distracted most people are. I'm I didn't watch Met Gala. I'm not interested in it at all. I don't care who's whatever. If it comes up on my Instagram feed because that's what Instagram does, then fine. However, so many people are distracted. And the movie Sinners right now, I haven't watched it yet, which I should. I haven't watched it, but you should watch it because I'm going to eventually. The movie is about being distracted by pleasure. And the Met Gala, Super Bowl, World Cup, ICC, it does not matter. All of these things serve as distractions. And if you are on a mission, if you don't know what your mission is yet, then I would implore you to spend time figuring out what your mission is. I had an inkling, a theory of what my mission would be when I was 15. It didn't become solid until I was maybe 17. So maybe 18 to 2.5 years, right? Of me trying to figure out and zone in what my would be for the next 10 to 15 years or 20 years. Then most people don't really have that. But then once you figure out what that mission is, then your only modus operandi, your only reason for being every day, the only reason you get up in the morning should be to accomplish that mission because you decided that that's what you're going to do. And that's what Simmons is about. If you don't focus on what you're going to do, you will be distracted by World Cup, you'll be distracted by the NBA, you'll be distracted by everything. Met Gala, Grammys, Emmys, there's always something to be distracted by. The news, if you pay attention, all it is distraction. And it's distracting people away from the ability to think for themselves long term. That's what most people are going through. They don't have enough in them to just focus. I've been going live, for example, every day for since February. Sometimes it's 2 people here, sometimes it's 15 people here, sometimes it's 30 people here. But I'm live anyway because it's on my schedule. Just being focused. Sometimes I get results, sometimes I don't. My friend Robert is here. Damn, that's crazy. I guess he's off today. It's so cool. He has a tulip bag in his arm. Tulip is a Jay, you know what tulip is. He has a tulip bag in his arm. It's a it's a supermarket here in Suriname. It's one of the bigger ones. Tulip and maybe choice is bigger than tulip. That's it. Um, but yeah, um, looks like he's gonna swim. So he's coming over. All right, people, I'm gonna go. We've been live for about half an hour now. I'm gonna let you guys say hi to Robert. This is Robert coming up. You guys can say hi to Robert, and then I'm gonna come off this live because I haven't worked out yet. Say hi to my people. All right, I'm off, guys. Peace out.